Good evening, everybody. I wanted to come on and I wanted to highlight this article. I went through this recently in one of my videos, and it was one of my regular videos where it's an hour long, so a lot of people probably missed this one here. And if not, you probably don't remember much from it, even though we went over it, because a lot of other information to take in on that video. But I wanted to come on here and highlight this. I'm not going to read the whole thing because I have to go to bed soon because I have to get up for work tomorrow. But I just wanted to come on and show you guys. Now, this is the United Nations website, as you could see up here, un.org, and the link should be in the description box if you're watching this video, so you guys can have access to it. So I'm at the United Nations website. Now, this is called United Nations Secretary General's Report, Our Common Agenda. Think about the global commune. That's what this is about, and it all derives from, well, communism, including communitarianism. Communitarianism is literally just another word, a new age word for communism, without coming out and saying it. So, you ever hear anything like that, or just of that nature in general, this is communism on a worldwide scale at this point in time. Now, I wanted to just highlight a couple of things through here so we can go over it and you guys can, dissect it on your own time. I'm just going to go through and highlight certain portions of this article here. Okay, so we are at an inflection point in history. The C-19 situation has served as a wake-up call, and with the climate crisis now looming, the world is experiencing its biggest shared test since the Second World War. Funny how they reference the Second World War like this isn't the Third World War when it is. Humanity faces a stark and urgent choice: break down or break through. This is only people of evil intent deal in absolutes like this. So break down or break through. The choices we make or fail to make today could result in further breakdown in future of perpetual crises, or a breakthrough to a better, more sustainable, peaceful future for our people and planet. So you can already ascertain from this, they mean either go along with what we're doing and break through to a better, more sustainable, peaceful future, new world order. Or if you don't accept it, we're going to break it down. That's what I read when I read things like this. Our common agenda is an agenda of action designed to strengthen and accelerate multilateral agreements, particularly the 2030 Agenda, and make a tangible difference in people's lives. This is what C-19 was all about. Do you think that they would even be able to get anywhere close to getting this done if C-19 didn't go through, or the people didn't take to it? Absolutely not. And they're talking about our common agenda is an agenda of action designed to strengthen and accelerate multilateral agreements, particularly the 2030 Agenda, and make tangible difference in people's lives. So all those people that like to say, that this wasn't planned out in advance, they're reacting to this in real time, and there's never been a plan for whatever, well, they're just telling you right now. They're telling you. Our common agenda contains recommendations across 4 broad areas: for renewed solidarity between peoples and future generations, a new social contract anchored in human rights, better management of critical global commons, and global public goods that deliver equitably and sustainably for all. Think about what they're doing right now with the cargo ships, depriving us of food, clothing, medicine, water, you name it. What they're talking about here, look, better management of the critical global commons, global public goods that deliver equitably and sustainably for all. This means, what do you think the better management of the critical global commons is? That is a one-world communist government. Okay, so key proposals. I'm on the wrong one. Sorry, guys. Stand by. Okay, I'm actually at the right one now. This is still the United Nations website, and you can see our common agenda. And we basically read this, except this says the report looks ahead the next 25 years, represents the Secretary General's vision on the future of global cooperation and reinvigorating inclusive, networked, and effective multilateralism. Secretary General presented his report, General Assembly, in September 2021, before the end of the 75th session of the General Assembly. And you can read the whole report in these links, and this is the link that I will leave in the description. This term that they're throwing around now, I haven't heard many people talking about it. Reinvigorating multilateralism. It's one of their new buzzwords for New World Order. That's no more, no less. Okay, so I really just wanted to go through this, but I'm going to link this for you guys. But look, here's their points. Leave no one behind. That reminds me of the immunization Agenda 2030 from the World Health Organization, where no one will be left behind. You will not escape their plan, is what they're, pretty much telling you. Protect our planet, as in forcing you off the land to protect our planet by getting humans off the land so nature can reclaim its rightful territory, and packing you all in cities and constant surveillance in a martial law-like state. Promote peace and prevent conflicts. Karl Marx said the definition of peace is the absence of all opposition to socialism. Abide by international law and ensure justice. There it is. Abide by international law and ensure justice. Place women and girls at the center. Well, of course, because part of their agenda is depopulation, and after that and during that, controlling the rate that humans reproduce. Nobody's ever been able to do that before. They can do it now. Build trust. Yeah, that's going to be tough. Improve digital cooperation. Why do you think all this stuff about the metaverse is going on right now? Upgrade the United Nations. We went over this. The United Nations will be in its true form as it was intended to be, and it is one of those things that they basically told us whenever the United Nations was ratified. And the United Nations is to serve as a world governing body. And so when they say upgrade the United Nations, they're talking about the point after the United States was the world's police force, up to and including a time to where they could turn it over to the United Nations, so the United Nations can become its true self. Ensure sustainable financing, as in control all of your finances. Boost partnerships, as in they're going to be working more closely together for the benefit of themselves to rule over the rest of us. Listen to and work with the youth. Control the youth, you control the future. Be prepared, as in they can justify doing anything they want to us by just saying that they're being prepared. Now, something that I found interesting in this, let me see. Oh yeah, look. Well, let's just start here. Member states working with the President of the General Assembly and partners, including inclusive informal network breakfast series across 12 UN 75 themes hosted by UN Foundation. Thought leaders, visionary thinking from a diversity of eminent thought leaders around the world and across different regions on reinvigorating multilateralism for accelerating progress on global commons. So basically, for accelerating global communism. Young thinkers, innovative ideas from young thinkers and active citizens under the age of 30 to explore a reimagined social contract and a new global deal for next and future generations as part of the international system. You know, the international system that doesn't exist. Here's one of my favorites. We, the peoples. So that's a stab at the U.S. Constitution, of course. Artificial intelligence enabled worldwide digital consultations, following up from UN 75 global dialogues to gather inputs, galvanize networks, innovate bold ideas, activate champions to achieve our common agenda priorities. Activate champions. That could mean a whole number of things. What will they be activating? Because there's a certain thing that has a technological aspect to it that people are going around and getting, and that can be activated at a later date. You know, activated with a device similar to a toothbrush to allow the DNA to penetrate the body's cells and carry out its mission. And then they talk about our future agenda, a vision and plan for next and future generations. This is literally, well, let me read this first. An inclusive approach. Our common agenda is led by the Executive Office of the Secretary General with support from the UN Foundation and Igarpe Institute, along with a network of partners from all regions, engaging a diverse ecosystem of global experts, youth, civil society, parliamentarians, private sector universities, and think tanks. So they're telling you who's all going to be a part of their world government. They're literally just putting it out there for us to see. Check this one out. Accelerating inclusive global cooperation. Summary of the We the People's digital consultation. So you could even go on here and read about this, which is probably going to be part of the new social contract. UN 2.0. Now look, the next 5 years, 2021 and beyond. And I will link this because I won't be able to go through in... Actually, yes, I will. Okay, so the next 5 years. Think about Deagle.com. This would put us at 2026, almost 2027. There's no other global organization with the legitimacy... Wait, it's hard to read this. I think it says convening power and normative impact of the United Nations. No other global organization gives hope to so many people for a better world and the future we want. The urgency to come together to fulfill the promise of the nations united has rarely been greater. Yeah, because they're still talking about that window of opportunity that they have to unite all the nations under a world government. You know, the one that doesn't exist. They put it out there for us to see because they know that nobody cares. So they can put anything they want out there and nobody will care. But this UN 2.0 stuff reminds me of just their entire system that they've been talking about, that they've had ready to go and implement. All that was needed was the right major crisis, just like David Rockefeller said. All we need is the right major crisis, and the nations will accept the New World Order. But I will link this for you guys. But we're about to see a whole lot of events coming our way. And here's this C-19 response. Here we go. Yeah, response. Like they're just responding out of nowhere. And none of this was fabricated. None of it was planned out. It's all authentic and out of nowhere. Our world can only get ahead of the C-19 situation one way. Together. Yeah, because what better way to implement a new world order using Hegelian dialectic than to create a worldwide problem? That, quote, cannot be solved by nation states, end quote. A global response based on solidarity will save lives, protect people, and help defeat this vicious virus that has already claimed more than 2 million lives. And they talk about, of course, the decade of action, with just 10 years to go. An ambitious global effort is underway to deliver the 2030 promise by mobilizing more governments, civil society, businesses, and calling on all people to make global goals their own. So they're calling on all of us and all businesses, governments to make these New World Order policies our own. And of course, they bring up climate change. And it's the defining issue of our time, and now is a defining moment to do something about it. There's still time to tackle climate change, but it will require an unprecedented effort from all sectors of society. Yeah, as in, they're going to move quickly with this. They have to get us off the land and into tightly controlled cities. They have to escalate their depopulation program. And of course, we have what they call gender equality. Women and girls represent half of the world's population, and therefore also half of its potential. Gender equality, besides being a fundamental human right, is essential to achieve peaceful societies with full human potential and sustainable development. And that's the end of it. The only reason is to control the reproductive rate of human beings for the first time in history. No one has ever been able to do that before. It was never possible to control individual women from giving birth however many times or not. It's never been a thing, but they can do it now. And whatever they're injecting into people is going to help them out tremendously. But I just wanted to bring this up. I'm going to link this in the description. I just wanted to get this out before bedtime. And I wanted to also challenge other people on YouTube that make videos. Start talking about this. Reinvigorating multilateralism. I have not heard anybody say this. And if you guys have, please tell me who has. Because I would really like for people to start talking about this. If not, then it's going to become one of those things that people get used to and they like the idea of, when it's literally nothing more than New World Order. 2021 was supposed to be and is the year of the Great Reset. That's definitely happened. Now look what we have going on. People leaving their jobs. Ships stuck at sea with a bunch of products. People fighting and wanting to kill each other over political differences. Tightening the noose around our neck until you comply and to take their magic potion. So that's all I have to say on this. I really hope you guys get the word out on this. Share this video out everywhere. Let people know that this is a real thing published on the United Nations website, where they're literally openly just calling for a new world order. And I'm waiting for the day that they literally come on here and say, New World Order has been built, and this is our plan, and you're not going to do anything about it. So, God bless you all.